Hello, everyone, and welcome to Offworlders Dead Planet on the Gauntlet. This is our fourth session of four, so I am hoping that we are going to come to a satisfying conclusion tonight. My name is Mike. I will be your GM tonight. I've been playing on the Gauntlet for about 2 years now, GMing for about 6 months. So the adventure we're running is Dead Planet. It was originally written for the OSR sci-fi horror game Mothership. I've tweaked this. I've tweaked it a little, and we are actually using a hack of the PBTA game Offworlders for this. Enough about me. If our players would like to introduce themselves, well, let's go left to right as you appear on my Zoom window. Jason, would you introduce yourself and your character?
Sure. I'm Jason. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Sparks. He's an outlaw. He is getting stressed out, and he, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, he looks like Harry Dean Stanton from Alien.
Awesome. And Abe?
I'm Abe, he, him. I'm playing Logan Rand, also he, him. He is a space marine. He looks like Michael York, but he's got a very out there 70s space armor type thing with plasma weaponry.
Awesome. And Brandon?
Hi, I'm Brandon. My character is Thorn, who is a psychic with a very androgynous look and feel. The Thorn people are not naturally psychic, and in this world, Thorn has essentially implants of what might be considered an alien parasite that cause them to have psychic powers.
Fantastic. So we all played last week, so this part hasn't really changed, but I do want to talk very briefly about the safety tools that we have in play for this game. We're going to be working with 3 safety tools because safety in a role-playing game is important. So they kind of give us a framework to, so safety tools kind of, they give us a framework to approach the game to try to make sure that we're all having a good time here, because each of us individually is more important than this game we're playing. So we're using 3 tools. The first and most basic is open door, and that means anyone can come and go as they please. Anyone can call a break at any time. If anyone needs to get up and take care of something, please get up and take care of something. I would ask that if you're planning to get up, leave, and not come back, that you give us the courtesy to say that, hey, I'm out, I can't, I got to do something. Totally fine. Regarding that, I am planning to call 2 5-minute breaks roughly on the hour. The next tool we're going to use are the X, N, and O cards. The X card tells everyone that, hey, we need to pause. When you invoke the X card, it means that there's something happening in the game, whether like in the fiction of the game or like about the game, that you're finding uncomfortable or problematic. It could be subject matter. It could be how the players are interacting with each other, basically, and it means that that there's something happening in the game that's taking away your fun. So say the phrase X card. You can make an X if you're on camera. You can make an X symbol with your arms or with your fingers, and that's just telling us that we need to pause the game. We need to have a chat to figure out what we need to take out of the game to make it fun for everybody. We'll take that out. We'll rewind a little bit, and we'll replay the scene without that problematic element. The N card is a similar tool that indicates that we're going someplace that I'm not sure about. I don't think I like where this is going, but I don't really want to interrupt. So you can use the N card by like typing the letter N in the chat, and that's a signal to say that we're moving in a direction that I don't think I like as a player, and I'd like us to either wrap up the scene and move on to the next one as quickly as possible. And finally, the O card is an indication that I'm okay with this. This game has horror elements, and sometimes people may have a visible, visceral reaction to something gross or disturbing that's happening on screen. I may type O ? In the video chat window as a question, just to I'm not interrupting the game, but I'm just like checking in to make sure that everyone's okay, because sometimes you know sometimes the look of disgust means that, oh, that's really disturbing and I really love it. It's why we watch horror movies. So if I type O ? In the chat window, if you're okay, just type the letter O back. That's just signaling to me that yeah, I'm okay with this. The next tool that we are going to use are called lines and veils. We went through this exercise. A little more in depth last time. The people have picked a number of people have let us know of a number of lines and veils. A line is something that will not happen in the game, period, the end. And a veil is something that won't happen on camera. It won't, we may acknowledge that it exists in the world, but it's not going to happen on camera. It's not going to happen. It's certainly not going to happen to the PCs. If something's veiled, we may see it we may see a reference to it having happened in the past, or if it's happening now, we'll fade to black and then pick it up, and then pick it up later. And lines and veils are on the Safety and Resources tab of our Character Keeper. One other thing, which isn't technically a safety tool, but I do like to bring up, and that is if for some reason I step away off camera without telling you what's going on and don't come back, or if my image freezes and then drops out, which might indicate that I'm having some kind of internet difficulty, wait 10 minutes. If I'm not back in 10 minutes and haven't tried to message you in some way, that just means that after 10 minutes, that just means the game's going to be over. Much safe to say that has happened to me in the past. I was in the midst of I think it was back during during the July Gauntlet Con. My neighborhood had an internet outage, and I didn't have internet access for a good hour. So, it sucks, but that sort of thing happens. So basically, if I disappear, whether it's I walk off camera and don't walk back on, or I freeze and drop out, wait 10 minutes. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, assume the game is over and just go on with your evening. I'll hopefully follow up with you later just to let you know what happened. Are there any questions about safety? Awesome. Okay, well, let's do a quick recap. The crew of the fast corporate courier ship Stingray 12 were on a routine data courier mission when their ship was suddenly yanked out of hyperspace and found itself in orbit of a strange planet in a barely charted system. The planet was roughly Earth size, but it's orbiting close around a red dwarf star. The planet is in tidal lock with the star. When you came out of hyperspace, you did end up in orbit around this planet, along with dozens, if not hundreds, of other derelict starships also in orbit around this planet. some of these ships seemed, for their configurations, indicated that they were very, very old. Some of them were, maybe more than 100 years old. Like some of the earliest examples of FTL capable ships. Of note, there was only one ship that your scanners showed still had an active energy signature from its engine core, and so you docked with and boarded it. It was an archaeological research ship called the Alexis. Getting on board, you realized that all of the crew were dead. Some of them seemed to be ripped apart by some kind of strange beast, whereas other members of the crew seemed to have killed each other through more mundane means. You found 2 partially functioning androids aboard that didn't know what was going on because their memory cores were partially wiped, as were the memory cores of the ship itself. While you were aboard, strange, weird alien creatures appeared, which you fought. Later, you fought your way into the cargo hold of the Alexis, and you found a weird alien idol statue of some sort that was made of like twisted organic metal. And out of this thing, through sort of some kind of like rip in the folds of space-time, stepped three weird-looking aliens, which Thorn was able to contain in a psychic wall. You defeated those aliens since they were mostly trapped, and then you decided that this idol thing was not good, so you spaced it. Later, you picked up life signs on the planet's moon. You contacted them. They indicated that they were the crew of a colony ship that was pulled out of hyperspace something like more than 20 years ago, and some of them had settled on the moon and have built and are just barely scraping by. They then attempted to pull your ship in with a tractor beam, but some fast thinking and fast piloting on your part, you were able to escape them. You located a point source on the planet's surface of a hyperspace anomaly, which is what is causing all of these ships to like drop out of hyperspace around here. You then landed on the planet to investigate. Leaving your ship's security and engineer aboard, Thorn and Sparks disembarked to go overland to the point of this hyperspace anomaly, and you met up with Space Marine Sergeant Logan Rand, and after a bit of a tense standoff, decided to join forces. Logan explained that his Marine ship had also crash landed on this planet about 2 weeks ago, and that he was part of a platoon that went out also to explore the hyperspace anomaly, but you were ambushed by aliens which matched the descriptions of the ones you saw aboard the Alexis, and the rest of his platoon were either captured or were either killed or worse, and Logan made a run for it. The 3 of you made it to the mesa where the anomaly was, and you found this, you found this like mostly circular gate that was made out of more of that like twisted black organic metal, and inside of it was basically like a rip or a fold in space-time that seems to be some kind of interdimensional gate. It was strangely unguarded. You followed some, for lack of a better word, large cables that came off of the back of this gate and went into a cave opening, which with a set of stairs which were carved out of the rock, which descend into the surface of the planet, and that was where we left you.
Can we I think originally when we left the ship, we were talking about like having it as maybe like our escape route. So maybe can we like contact them on our comms and be like, hey, Samantha and Athena, we're descending down into some craziness. We might need a pickup. Can you like circle the site, be prepared for a dust off?
Samantha comes over the comms. You got it, boss. We'll do our best. We'll do our best. That anomaly is doing weird things to space, but we'll do our best. We'll not sure if we'll be able to land there, but we'll be close.
You hear that, Thorn? They called me boss.
Brandon, you're muted.
Clearly, the anomaly is having effects on more than just space-time.
And I think that like the little bomb, maybe it's probably best if I'm holding it because I'm pretty worthless otherwise. So I've got the little bomb. We got like a little like radio controller on it set up, so we can kind of push a button if we need to.
Yep, totally. That makes total sense.
So Sarge, maybe this, hate to be pushy, but maybe this is a situation where maybe you could go first down into the whatever this is.
Give him the thumbs up, head straight towards it, gun drawn, ready to go.
Okay. It's clearly not a natural cave. This has been carved or cut, or you're not entirely sure. And yeah, these cables. So the stairs go down. The cables are like running down the ceiling of this passageway. It's not very wide. It's probably only about. It's probably not quite 6 feet. Not quite 6 feet wide. And maybe about 8 feet tall. The steps, by the way, are uncomfortably longer than you would expect normal stairs to be. As if whatever walked through here had a longer gait than a human.
But presumably wasn't a whole lot taller.
So but presumably wasn't a whole lot taller. So you descend a little ways, and you notice that the walls, which started out as being like cut rock, you're starting to see more of these these metallic. They almost look like ropes or possibly veins. It almost looks. I mean, again, it looks very organic. Seems to be coating as you descend. It's like coating the entire walls and even floor of the space. It's not impeding your motion, but it looks like it's this like dull black black and gray it's this dull black and gray hard metal. But as you descend, you notice that the air temperature is getting warmer.
All right. I'm gonna get on the comms, and as I entered in to the thing, I'm on the comms giving them the lowdown on what's happening. So I tell them we've got this weird, mysterious gray blackish material that's all over the place. It's really fucking weird.
I think I'm probably not too far behind you, so
Yeah, we're with you.
yeah.
No, you guys are following up. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna tap one of the little pipes and see if it sounds hollow or what.
It does sound like it's probably hollow, although it may have it doesn't sound solid, but it may have like a fluid running through it. Like looking at this stuff, looking at it a little more closely, it almost you don't really see seams per se. It almost looks like it was. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you'd think this might have been grown, not constructed.
Well, let's keep going. Follow the. Is there like the main pipes that we were following up above ground that were kind of leading us down deeper?
They are, although as the as they meet the you know as they meet this sort of like organic metal like plating, for lack of a better word, on the sides of the cavern. It's getting harder and harder to tell where those big cables are and where it's like just turning into like whatever this network of this large network of cables or tubes or whatever they are. It's hard to say where one ends and the other begins.
Do we have some
Yeah,
sort of like sensor or something that tells us where the strange anomaly is? Like, you know,
Yes.
kind of guide us deeper
Yes, we
or
do.
closer.
Well, the point source of the hyperspace anomaly was back behind you. That was the gate. So at this point, you're probably looking for the power source.
Right.
Okay.
These are like, they're almost like roots.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, these definitely have an organic feel to them, but this is clearly not an organic. It's not a chemically organic material.
Well, I don't know what it is, but let's blow it up and get out of here. Let's find the source of this thing.
Hopefully we're doing that.
Pull up one. Sorry, my internet's being slow here, so things are a little.
When you, Sparks, when you talk to Thorn seems to come from staring off into space for a moment and go, oh, yeah, right, absolutely.
You hear, Thorn? Everything hunky-dory?
No, nothing's hunky-dory. And no, I'm not here. I'm listening as hard as I can.
Well, come on, man. Just stay frosty. We need you. We need that psychic mojo if we're going to get out of this.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to make sure that nothing takes us by surprise.
I'm going to interrupt the game briefly just to say one thing I meant to say at the beginning, and that is the dice roller that we had been using. I'm finding more and more problematic as time goes on. I've also learned that the developer of it is no longer maintaining it, and it's kind of like slowly decomposing as time goes on. So we're using I put a link to a new dice roller. I also sent it to the in the email. So if people want to pull that up. We're switching to roll dice with friends instead of roll for your party. It's a simpler interface. It doesn't have quite as many features, but it's going to work perfectly well for here. If you could bring that up, if you've never used roll dice with friends, if you notice in the top left, it'll say name, and it's going to default to Dallas Dice Roller, and that is that's just a placeholder. So if you could just highlight that and type in your character's name. Okay. That way, when you roll dice, it'll say who rolled what dice. And with this one, you basically just drag dice. This one, you just drag dice into the gray box, and then pull some number of 6-sided dice into that, and then click the roll it button. There you go.
Looks like you can just click on the die too.
Yep.
And it'll put it in the little box or take it out.
Oh, that's true. I was thinking you drag, but no, you just click on it.
All right, looks good.
Okay. I don't think I want to roll here. So as you're going down here, you're noticing that it's actually lit, not very well, but there are light sources. It looks like just periodically there are glowing like green lights that are throwing. Again, it's kind of dim, but it's certainly enough. It's certainly enough to see by. However, ahead of you, down this, and so you descend about maybe 50 feet or so, and then it's and then it levels off into sort of a wider path that goes again deeper inside. Ahead of you, you see another green glow. It looks like it's floating kind of in the middle of the corridor. It looks a lot like that floating green skull that you encountered earlier. What do you do?
And I might have missed it, but can we go around it? Is there an alternate route?
That does at this point, not really. It looks like I mean, you're just in a you're pretty much in a corridor. It's not perfectly straight. It twists around, but you have yet to encounter any side passages. And it was like you started to come around a bend, and you think, and Sarge like caught a glimpse of it, and then he motioned, and then motioned you back. So it doesn't look like it's seen you yet.
How about if like we all like hide around the corner, and like I'll grab like a big rock and throw it down behind us, make a big clatter, and then maybe it'll go that way and we can get by it.
Is there room?
You're trying to throw it behind, so you're going to try to hide, throw it behind you, so it'll hopefully go towards.
Right. It'll hear it and check it out, and then we'll be able to slink by as it goes by us. You know what I'm saying? By our hiding spot.
Absolutely.
It's an old trick I learned on Beta 7.
Is that where you learned it?
Yeah.
Give me just a sec. I forgot to pull up the rules pack. Let me just get that in front of me.
Let's see. Would that be acting boldly or acting? What's the other one? Acting.
This is the you're in a dangerous situation here, so I think you're going to be acting desperately.
Okay.
But does he get the benefit of sneak?
Oh, that's right. You've got.
It's a sneaky thing.
Yeah, I got sneak and survival.
Okay, yeah, this is totally, sneak totally comes into play here. So you're going to be acting desperately, but you will be rolling with advantage.
Okay, so I roll 3 dice.
Yeah.
Is that an agility or an intelligence, you think?
Yeah, give me just a sec to pull that up. Like I said, my internet's being slow here. That was annoying. I double clicked the link. It didn't do anything. Double clicked it again, and then it just like brought me 2 levels down.
You're on Google Drive. Is that where you're working from?
Yeah, I'm on Google Drive.
Yeah, it's working for me.
No, it's definitely my internet.
I can, if need be, I can just read it to you, and we can do it from
here.
here.
Why don't you go ahead and read the move? I believe it's something along the lines of, if I recall correctly, it's something along the lines of, tell us what you wish to accomplish and what you fear may happen if you are not successful.
Right. So yeah, I'm trying to distract it so we can sneak by, and what you may fear may happen if you're not successful. So I would say that it spots us as we're moving past it. It goes by us, but then it turns or whatever, hears a noise and catches us as we're going by. And then you tell us how it's worse than you fear.
It's going to be worse than you fear. Right. So I'm going to say, if it does catch you, I'm going to say if it does catch you, it's not just going to it's not just going to summon help. It also is going to attack you in some way.
Okay. I will continue with the plan then. Then I roll 3d6 and keep the best 3 or best 2.
Yep. Roll 3.
And is this, I was thinking, is this plus agility or intelligence, you think?
What do you think?
I think it's an intelligence-based plan.
I think that's probably, yeah, I'm for that. So go ahead
Okay.
and
Here we
go
go.
ahead and roll plus intelligence with advantage.
Look at that.
So I got a 6 and a 3 and plus 2, that's 11.
Okay, so yeah, that totally works. Go ahead and tell us how you're hiding, and so, yeah, you have narrative control of the scene. How do you
Sure.
how do you sneak by the skull?
So I think it's pretty much as we laid it out. We hide behind, like in a dark corner or behind one of these tubes or something, and I grab a piece of rock that's fallen and I throw it, and it bounces off these metallic sort of things and has an echoing, banging clatter. And the thing turns immediately, menacingly, and zooms past us and goes on down the corner, around the corner, and we slip by and make our way deeper.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. I think I'm going to turn off my camera just because I think that's eating a lot of bandwidth on my end. Guessing my next door neighbor might be streaming Netflix or something like that. The downside of
dare
the
they.
modem service. So I'm turning off my video for now. Just to hopefully that's going to give me a little more bandwidth here. If it looks like it speeds up again, I'll turn it back on. So eventually this corridor you're going down does branch out. I'm just going to say, for the sake of argument, you pick a direction and you go in it, and this underground complex seems to get a little more. I won't go quite so far as to say maze-like, but it's turning into a bit of a warren. And again, as you go deeper into this complex, the air temperature is continuing to increase. It actually feels fairly. If you weren't wearing your vac suits right now, it'd actually probably be pretty comfortable right now. But eventually, the path that you chose, it opens up into a larger room. In this room, there are several dozen large like cylinders, again made of this like organic. Again, everything in here is made of this like weird organic black metal stuff. But there's several dozen cylinders that are arranged in rows. There's opposite the wall, on the wall opposite from where these cylinders are, there's a protrusion from the wall. Looks like it might be some kind of control panel. There's like holographic displays. Kind of hard to see what they are, but there's there's images that are greenish images that are floating above, and there seem to be like switches and dials, but again, it's clearly not made by or for human hands.
Maybe I think Abe's or the sergeant said something about the beasts that attacked his people were led by some humanoids. Maybe they're the ones that control this place. Were they a little bit bigger than us, Sarge? Logan?
Yeah, they were. I Forgot the description that I gave last week, but
Yeah, they stood they stood like 7 feet tall. They were humanoid-ish in that they had a head and stood on 2 legs and had two arms, but they were their torsos were short. Their limbs were very, very long, and their they seemed to wear they kind of had like loose fitting metallic clothing that they were wearing. Their hands ended in talons.
does this look like something that's built for their talony hands?
It just might be.
Does it look like a good place to plant a big old bomb to, take this place out?
Seemed like a big installation.
Yeah.
You're thinking you're probably not close enough to that. You get the sense that this probably goes deeper.
This is a hub, not the main. This is not the main power area.
Is there a way to manipulate these controls to maybe like, I don't know, send everybody to the other side of the base or something, or I don't know.
You can certainly try.
I'm going to see what I can learn from this.
Okay, so looking at the control panel, again, there are there's holographic displays. There's but they're very hard to understand. They're in there's clearly some kind of writing system that's in them, but it's you've never seen writing like this and can't really parse it. One thing that you do see though is kind of off to one side, there are 2 protrusions that come out of this control panel that have hollows in them. Almost looks like you would the idea would be to put your hands into this. At least that's what it looks like. It looks like that's what it's designed for. Like someone stick their hands into this and interface with it that way. Maybe this is their equivalent of a keyboard. Hard to say.
I'm going to scan the perimeter, just make sure nothing's sneaking up on us.
Scanning the perimeter. Okay. Yeah, your scanner indicates that there's actually something skittering on the ceiling in this room. What do you do?
Can I use my my lamp to illuminate up there? Would it cast enough light to see?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you're looking at your hand scanner and it's like, wait a minute, what's that? Looking up on the ceiling, I don't know if you, Sarge, I don't know if you've seen these before, but both Sparks and Thorn have. There are 6 of those cross between a squid and a centipede creature that you had encountered several of aboard the Alexis. And there's 6 of them up on the ceiling. And as soon as you notice them, that's when they drop down on you. I'm going to say, Sarge, you were the one who saw them, so you can go ahead and act first. What do you do?
Well, when all you got's, what does it say? When all you got's a hammer, all you see is nails. So start shooting.
Awesome. Yeah, fantastic. So So you are definitely acting in the presence of danger. So you are acting desperately. So what you wish to accomplish is clearly you want to shoot one. You want to shoot one of these guys. What do you fear may happen if? What are you afraid of that's going to happen if this roll doesn't go so well?
That they get the leg up on us and
Like-
assault us.
Okay. I need to tell you how it's worse than you fear. And I'm going to say that these things are going to try. These things are going to try to infect you with something.
Ew. Is there like an aid thing that somebody else can do? Because I fucked my roll up.
After the roll, I don't think so.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, then I'll take it on the chin. I got rolled a 6.
There is something you can do actually. This is something that we have. I don't think we've used it yet, but there is a. But in the stress mechanic. Let's see. This is something that we haven't done, so I'll let you re-roll this. But before you roll, you can choose to mark stress and roll with advantage, or if you've got a relevant skill.
I have like an agility, +1 agility, so that was what put me at 6.
Got it.
Do you want me to just roll another die? Because
go ahead and roll one more. Yeah, roll one more d6 and let's see what you get. Nice. Okay.
well, that's an 11.
Yep. So Mark went.
10.
So mark stress. So yeah, you're that's with agility. Yeah, so that's a 10. So yeah, you blasted it.
It's 11, I think, with my agility, but I don't know if that.
Yes, you are correct.
And it's a 10. It's the 2 highest dice.
Yes, 2 highest dice. So it's going to be the 4 and the 5 +1.
Yeah, I have an agility bonus, but yeah.
Oh, 25 plus.
I think
yeah,
your Deadeye does plus damage, not to plus to agility.
correct.
Agility, I have a +1, right?
Right.
Okay.
But you
Yep.
select the 2 with advantage. You select the 2 highest
you
dice.
select the 2 highest dice when you're rolling with advantage. So that's going to be the 4 and the 5 is a 9 +1 is a 10.
Oh,
But it doesn't matter. A 10 and 11 is the same.
yeah,
So.
it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I assume you're using your plasma rifle. So go ahead and roll a d6 plus, I guess d6 +3 damage.
All right.
And go ahead and roll just to see what happens.
Roll a 4. If it's +3.
Well, it's your rifle does d6 +1, and you deal +2 damage for Deadeye. So
Oh, okay.
d6 +3. So that's gonna be 4 damage. You blast this thing. How many did I say? I think I said there were 4 of them up there. And yeah, this one just kind of explodes in a burst of like green goo.
You.
Who wants to go next? Thorin, why don't we? What are you doing?
I'm going to attack one. I don't see it. I don't see a good alternative.
Okay. So what are you? So how are you? So what are you doing to attack? What are you? So how are you attacking one?
I'm going to force blast one of them.
Gonna force blast it. Okay. Using your psychic powers. Excellent. What are you afraid might happen if this doesn't? What are you afraid might happen in this encounter?
Any kind of losing is pretty bad.
So I'm going to tell you.
We certainly saw what happened to the people on the ship.
That's true. Yeah, I'm going to say that I'm going to say that if you attempt to blast it psychically, these things are psychically attuned, and it's going to attempt to it's going to try to reflect that. It's going to try to like throw that blast right back at you.
Okay.
Are you pressing on?
I don't have another weapon.
Okay.
So it's that or hide. And I don't think anybody
Got it.
wants me to
All right.
hide.
Oh, you had another weapon on your sheet.
I did. I gave it to Logan.
Oh, that's right. I thought you had a needler, but
I did.
You do have a
Got it.
knife, it looks like.
I do have a knife. I'm not fighting this thing hand to hand.
that's probably wise. Okay, so
That is a
yeah,
10.
go ahead and roll plus will. I mean, if you want to burn a stress to roll with advantage, you can.
I did. And I rolled a 10.
You did. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Damage rolls are not great. 2 points damage.
Okay. That's actually going to be
And
enough.
it's basically a pick up and throw. It's a telekinetic
go ahead.
throw.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and tell us.
The thing drops
like.
down. The thing drops as the thing's dropping down from the ceiling. It veers into a pillar. It just kind of never quite hits the floor, slams into a pillar.
Okay, there's a loud sickening crack, and it just kind of like slides to the floor. It twitches a bit, but it doesn't seem to be moving anymore. Sparks, what are you doing?
So I think I've taken advantage of all of this excitement to find a dark little corner to hide in. I'm hoping to maybe get a cheap shot on one of them, maybe next time around. So that's what I'm doing, trying to hide.
Okay, you're trying to hide. Well, you've got your sneak skills, so you're definitely rolling with advantage there. So I think you're also going to be acting desperately. So you're trying to hide. What are you afraid that's going to happen if you fail?
I think one is just going to run right over and drop in my head, and I'm going to have a high-pitched scream.
Got it. Well, I'm going to tell you how it's. I'm going to tell you how it's worse, and that's going to be kind of pretty much exactly what happened when you were on the Alexis when you tried to hide. Is your hiding place was also the hiding place of another one, and there's going to be one right there in your face.
Sounds good. All right, here we go. Plus agility, is that what we're doing?
I think that would be agility, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's
Nice.
11. 11.
Fantastic. Yeah, there is not one hiding there, and you are you find a great hiding spot, like I don't know, like behind one of these like weird cylinder things, and yeah, they seem to have the two remaining seem to have lost track of you.
Sweet.
Guess let's turn the spotlight back to Sergeant Logan again.
All right. I'm going to keep cleaning house.
Okay.
Aim and shoot at the next one.
Okay.
There we go.
Awesome.
10.
No, don't bother rolling. I take that back. Go ahead and roll for damage.
3 plus 3 is 6.
Okay. I'm gonna say that with that roll and with that damage, you were able to line up a shot, and you're able to like blast two with like in a barrage of fire. You're able to get two of them. And again, two kind of explode in a burst of goo.
Excellent.
So downside is this did seem to. I mean, this the sound of plasma plasma rifle fire was, I mean, let's just say it wasn't quiet, but it didn't make tons and tons. I mean, it wasn't. It's like you weren't. You know, plasma rifle doesn't make the same amount of report as like a good old fashioned slug thrower. But you know, there was definitely sound. But you look, you check your scanner again, and there don't seem to be any
What
more.
are Shall I try to figure out what these things are?
When you say these things,
The
you're
creatures?
back, do you mean the creatures or the control
No,
panel
not
or
the,
the
no, not
cylinders?
the creatures.
Oh, the controls?
I'm perfectly happy with the understanding that the creatures are horrible things that are trying to kill us. And my scientific curiosity for them goes no further.
Yeah,
No, I mean this whole setup.
yeah, go for it, Thorn.
So you're looking at. So you're going to try to use the control panel, or you're going to try to. I guess I don't quite follow. Control panel, the cylinders. You're doing something else.
No, yeah, I'm going to try to use the control panel.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, you reach into these recesses, and it's firm but not painful. You feel like a mechanism inside, like basically grabs a hold of your hand, such that you're holding. Not so much grabs a hold of, but there's definitely there's a contraption that kind of like presses up into your hands. And you can feel like it's a bunch of little levers.
Mhm.
And so that seems to be how you would control these. So at the same time, no, that's. Oh, I'm sorry. That's. Oh, I'm sorry. That's in a different control panel. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you you can manipulate this, and as you're doing this, you are. I mean, you're the perfect person to use this control panel because you're starting to get images in your head from this control panel. This panel seems to operate on some psychic level. You can't quite understand exactly what all of these images are, but you can get some gist of it. So there is a custom move here for attempting to use the control system. And let me read you the move. When you attempt to use the alien control systems, tell us what you hope to accomplish and what you fear may happen, and also what you fear you may cause into happening. And then roll plus will. A psychic may roll with advantage. So on a hit, you get the effect. You get the effect that you get the effect more or less of what you want. And on a 7 to 9, there's a pick list of you get what you want, but these other things happen. And on a miss, you just get the bad effect.
Right. What I'm seeking to do here is to sabotage the system. And exactly how it depends upon what it feels like. If there's a way to set off to divert resources away from us, if there's a way to stop something that's pursuing us dead in its tracks, if something's trying to waken up and we can slow it down or kill it.
Okay.
It depends. It's going to be an instinctive call depending
Got it.
on
Okay,
what's going on in my head.
So the instincts on what this thing is telling you is that this this is a local control system that controls these like 3 dozen or so cylinders that are behind you, and you just get the sense that these are gestation vats. These are vats where the alien creatures basically metamorphose from a juvenile form into an adult form. You know, like an insect going from a larval to it, like an insect going from larva to nymph to adult.
Maybe Sparks is tapping on one and is going, "Hey, I think there's something inside these tubes."
Yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we can take a look at that. Sparks taps on one, and now that you're looking at it, there's like one area which was kind of like smooth and black, and that's when you realize this is actually it's actually like a view panel inside. It's mostly transparent. It's like frosted glass. You see a couple of bubbles.
So, given the fact that this is likely to be a long process, what I am trying to do is I'm trying to gain a key insight.
Okay.
That may be useful later when we're confronted by these things, or when we're dealing with whatever it is that they are,
Okay.
that's the
Got
whole
it.
raison d'etre of it, because the big mystery here remains is, why are they doing this? And we don't have an answer for that. And not that I'm necessarily going to get an answer, but I want to have some insight as to
what's going on here. Okay.
So that's what I'm looking. I'm looking for advantage that I can carry forward.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So what you hope to accomplish. So let's say this: on a hit, I'm going to give you some I'm going to give you some pertinent information about what's going on here, and what your goal might like. Give you like a better sense of what your goal might be on what to do here. And on a miss, basically it's a pick list. You set off an alarm, you take some damage and some stress, or one of them is you draw the attention of an alien intelligence.
Right. We've seen how much fun that is. Okay, ready?
And I said you may roll with advantage here because you have psychic powers.
Okay. 11.
Okay, perfect. Nice. So you interface with something like this installation's like central memory banks. And you get a just kind of a general sense of what's going on here, and that is this is primarily the power station for the gate, and that deeper in the facility is the sense you get is engine room. And the flashes you got were of actual engines that, like human technology engines.
So these are. So this is a like a substation here.
This is the power station and control hub. But deeper in the facility, there is an engine room. And what you got was the sense that you got from this alien installation was that the alien engines are online, and the image you got were of like regular starship engines.
Meaning that they're actually trying to come here from another space.
Yeah. This gate opens up. The other sense you got was the gate refers to the gate opens up to, and you just
Yes.
like the sense you got is like the gate opens into the other, or the realm, or the
Right.
void. Kind of hard to say. There's no real. You're not really hearing words. It's more concept.
Right. I think I understand what's going on here. I may be off on this, but this whole setup here is they're building a substation they've been able to send through a small team with limited equipment, and they're trying to build a substation here to allow them to send ships through.
Well, shit. Can't let that happen.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, any bright ideas? Where next? Do we blow up the gate? Do we go deeper into this fucking shithole?
I'm not sure we can blow up that gate straight up. It's holding a space between two realities. It's going to be well nigh indestructible unless we can cause the system here to feedback so hard into it that it basically tears it apart.
Okay.
I think that's the only way to do that is deeper in. I could kill the power for this here, and that could let us get away, but there's nothing to stop them from starting it back up again.
Well,
Yeah,
if we turn off these gestation tubes, maybe that'll draw them here to, save their babies, and we can make our way with, maybe there'll be less opposition between us and those engine rooms, maybe.
Yeah, it might kill our way out too, but
Well, I'm sure we'll find a back door. We'll be all right.
These guys took this stuff took out my whole company. If I got to go down to take them out, so be it.
So, Thorin, you are still plugged into this control panel. What do you want to do?
Kill the babies. We don't need any extras. You know what I mean?
they're not going to grow up during the time that we're here.
Huh. Oh, all right.
And killing them will draw everything to this spot.
Yeah, but we're going to be going somewhere else, right? We
Okay.
we turn those off and we double time it, down deeper.
That works if they don't happen to be running on the same.
No, I
way.
think I tamper with this. It just sends up a big red beacon that says we're right here.
Yeah.
So let's leave this alone and get the hell down to where.
Okay.
To where this.
You get a vague sense of. That was a really good roll. I'm gonna say that you got a vague sense of where you need to go in this facility.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're basically following that that set of pipes.
So
for
basically,
lack of a better word.
you want to go deeper. You want to go deeper into the facility. You know that
Yeah.
there's going to be a branch. There's going to be a branch coming up. You're going to want to go right down that branch through some other kind of room. There'll be another corridor on the other side of that room, and then there's going to be a passage that leads down into the engine room.
That's where we're going then.
We take 5 there, Mike.
I was just going to say that pretty much is the end of the scene, and yeah, let's take 5 minutes.
It's good.
Let us reconvene at 20 minutes after the hour.
Yep. See you then.
Great. Sounds good.
Awesome. Going to pause the recording, and we're back. Okay. So you press deeper into the complex. Let's do a little montage sequence of winding your way through the complex. So Sparks, why don't you tell us of like how you're continuing down this corridor and trying to avoid detection. Abe, why don't you have Logan tell us of an obstacle or a danger that you encounter, and then Brandon, you tell us how you are able to avoid or confront or bypass the danger.
So I think I like tap Logan and I say, I think our best chance is to stay quiet. So maybe I'll take the lead here. And we move through these tunnels, and you know, I'm hugging to the darkness. And but whenever we come up to like a doorway or something, I pause and I kind of gesture, you know, those military hand signals, you know, for Logan to move up, and you kind of breach the new, you know, into the new area, and we kind of move from area to area that way.
And Logan, what kind of what danger or obstacle do you encounter?
I'm going to say that as we continue, like the hallway continues going down, like at a downward angle, you know, where like how we're navigating. And at one point, there is a break in the hallway, and then there's this kind of big river of magma or lava or something running through, and it's separated. You know, like the hallway is separated by this magma.
And Brandon, how do you get past this river of magma that seems to be blocking your way?
I say, fellows, you're going to have to drag me across or carry me. And I focus and I force will project over the river, so that that there's something solid underfoot.
Oh, good call.
And
I'll be happy to escort you.
Yeah, you have to carry me. I literally cannot do anything else except
No problem.
except project.
All good.
It's weird. It's like walking on cloudy air.
I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Then I have to catch my breath at the other end.
So, at Thorn's direction, because they were the one who had the, you still have a bit of the, you didn't get a map per se, but you got like ideas as to like which way to go, like just kind of like vague images of the path. You don't actually have a schematic, but you know the way. You come to this juncture that you knew you're coming to. You go the direction you want to, and you know that there's going to be a room ahead of you. You weren't quite clear what this room's purpose was, but you do know that this room has this room is inhabited. There's there are like you're going to face some kind of opposition.
There's trouble, guys.
What do you do? Any precautions anyone wants to make before you head down there?
Should I take a point again? Or do you want to keep it stealth? Either way is fine.
Sparks, do you
Yeah, why don't you cover me and I'll try to sneak ahead.
see if you can get to a advantage point?
Yeah. If you hear a scream, something found me. So yeah, I'll try to stealth my way forward, trying to get as low and as small as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I think in order to avoid being seen, I think you're going to need to make I think we're going to want to make a roll here. You're inside a hostile alien installation, so I think you're still acting desperately. You're not in a position of safety here.
I think that's pretty safe.
So it sounds like what you want to accomplish is not to be seen. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of if this stealth doesn't go so well?
I mean, there's the obvious, but maybe I see something I'd rather not have seen. How's that work?
Okay. So I'm going to tell you how it's worse than that. I'm going to tell you that regardless of how you roll, you are absolutely going to see some things that you'd rather not see, and you're probably going to have to deal with it.
Okay. So if I succeed, I'm going to see nasties, but I won't be spotted.
If you succeed,
If I fail,
correct.
I'm going to get spotted, and I'm also going to see nasties.
Yeah, if you fail, you're probably going to be seen. You're going to see nasties, and I'm going to say that's going to definitely cause some stress.
Okay.
I'm Sparks, before you go.
Yeah. Is this where you tell me you love me?
No. What?
Just checking.
No, it just occurs to me that well, this is maybe the last chance to enjoy it. And I pull out a little flask.
Something good?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Syrian ice brandy.
bottoms up.
Don't drink it all.
Logan, you want a sip of this?
It's good for what ails you.
Sure, if you got extra, more than happy to.
I don't see a reason not to finish it off right here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
This may be the last. This is it's the only bottle around for several hundred light years.
Cheers.
Sounds like
it's been a real
sounds like
pleasure serving with you.
that sounds like you're reaching out here.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. It's a nice thing.
I think this is a nice scene. I think this is definitely an emotional connection. So it sounds like you're reaching out here. How is this offer? So Thorn, how is this offer making yourself vulnerable to your friends and allies?
I think just kind of expressing my, my camaraderie, I guess, since we had such a rough start. Really kind of like, I think it might be a little bit of a surprise because I've been pretty stone-faced the entire time, since we've been, aside from that one moment, so, I guess it's my gesture of reciprocity.
And
And,
I really like this scene. I don't think I want to roll here. I just want to say that everyone may just clear one stress. I don't want to interrupt this with a roll. I think this is a really great little scene.
You just froze.
So everyone go ahead and clear one.
I think you froze.
All three of
Okay.
you may clear one stress. I don't think I want to actually roll the move.
Okay.
all right. Well, at least if we go, we'll go happy.
Well, if we get out of here, I'll buy you a couple more flasks of that stuff. Okay, Thorn?
Do you know how much this costs? Don't make promises you can't keep.
You wouldn't believe what I'm hiding on our ship.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't. Anyway, go
Okay.
go
Okay,
out there.
here I go. All right. Cover me.
Okay.
Cover me, Hart.
Yep.
Remember, no screaming.
Okay.
You're using sneak, so you are rolling with advantage.
Right. Agility.
Yeah, I think this is the agility.
All right, here we go. That's 8.
Okay. Okay. So.
And I have this move Lucky that allows me to move up one level on a roll. So I could make it a 10 plus if 7 and 9 is bad news. Maybe
Okay.
tell me what am I facing if I get a 7 and 9, you think?
Let's see here. Let me just move.
Sheer raw terror.
Leave you vulnerable with unintended complication. Gotta think about this. Okay, it's a hit. So let me so it's a hit. So let me tell you what you learn, and then we'll talk about the complication. So you look in this room, and it's again, it's this weird alien technology with this like organic metal everywhere. There are 6 raised platforms that are perfectly flat. The feeling you get here is this is sort of like a surgical theater. Lying on each of those surfaces, and you can just tell by the uniform because it's pretty much just what Logan is wearing. Lying on each of those platforms is a space marine. Parts of their uniform have been like opened up as if they've been, as if they've perhaps been examined, at least examined, perhaps operated on.
I recognize them from my crew.
Well, you're not there quite yet, but I will say that yes, you will once you get there. Working on them are another one of those tall humanoid, one of those tall like gaunt humanoid creatures, and 2 other space marines that seem to be working with the alien. And now that you see the space marines, like their helmets are off, and you see that on their heads is a thing that looks kind of like a cross between a spider, a leech, and an octopus.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you. So I'm going to say that. So I'm going to say here's the complication. So yeah, so So you see that, and again, that thing that's on their head, it looks similar to, but not exactly the same as those larval crawler things that you shot a bunch of so far.
Uh-huh.
So it's clearly the same kind of creature. So here's the complication, and you will have the option to if you want to invoke your lucky, to bump that up to a 10. None of the alien nor the possessed or programmed space marines have seen you, but as you're on the ground and you look down, there's another one of those like slug spider leech things that's on the ground, and it looks up and sees you.
Yeah, I'll kick it up to a 10 plus. I'll burn my
Okay.
ghost or lucky.
Okay. I'm going to say that I'm going to keep it there that there is one of these slug things crawling around the floor, but it does
Right.
not seem to have detected you.
Okay, look, and is there another way out of this place, farther to where we want to get to? Like,
there is another open passageway on the other side of this room.
so
you're
yeah,
gonna have to
I'll-
get through this room to get
Right.
where you need to go.
is it possible to, if we do it just right, for us to like sneak through here? Or is it going to be a confrontation no matter what?
You're pretty sure it's going to be a confrontation. There doesn't
Okay.
really look like there's going to be a good way to sneak through here.
Okay. So yeah, I'll kind of back off a little bit and I'll draw the others in and I'll tell them, what we saw. And I say, I think we can get a jump on them.
Yeah, keep your position. Keep your
Yeah.
position, I whisper.
Yeah.
Better believe we can get a jump on them. And I pull a hand grenade out of my, from my belt.
Ready when you are, Sarge.
No, Sarge, don't get freaked out. I think there's some of your guys down here.
All the more reason.
What?
Some of them are dead. Some of them are like mind controlled, but I think they're dead too. I think they're just automatons. So stay frosty.
Fuck. Well, I mean, the grenade answer might be the answer. You can take out the whole lot of them, but then we'll draw a lot of attention. What do you think, Thorn?
I think we're going to get a lot of attention one way or the other.
All right.
Yeah, it's go time.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So I stride out into the hallway and I go, get your dirty hands off my friends. And I pull the pin with my teeth and I chuck the grenade at him.
Fantastic. So you're throwing it at the alien?
Yes.
Okay.
Wish me luck.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, you're intending to blow up the alien. Awesome. What are you afraid might happen if this doesn't go so well?
That I roll like a 1 or a 2 to 6, and there's some sort of fucking mishap.
Well, that's just it. I'm asking what is the mishap you're most afraid of?
That I bounce it off something and it lands back at my feet.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty safe thing to go, a fear to go with.
Here's how it's going to be. Here's how it will be worse than that. The alien will. So again, if things go poorly, the alien will raises its hand and the grenade stops in midair and then is psychically flung back at you.
Okay.
So do you want to? Let's just move again. So are you going through with this?
Damn straight.
Yes.
Awesome.
You got
I
to
think
burn a stress for advantage, or do we have advantage because of surprise?
I'm going to say that since Sparks used his I'm going to say that since Spark used his lucky ability, I'm going to say that Logan, you've got the drop on him. So I'm going to say you can go ahead and roll with advantage here because they didn't expect you to. Because they didn't expect that you were coming, and I'm going to say they were startled by your sudden appearance.
All right, here we go, and I got a +1. So.
And this is rolling with agility.
So 8 and 9.
9, awesome. Awesome. You pull the pin, you pull the grenade, bounce, and then like right at the and like it explodes right at the alien's feet. And the complication is it blows off, the explosion blows off a chunk of the alien that comes flying right at you. And so the complication is basically you get hit by a piece of this flying alien and its acidic blood.
All right.
So I'm going to say that grenade does 2d6 damage. So if you want to go ahead and roll that. I'm also going to say it's going to affect.
I roll a 6, and then hold on one second. I have athletics, survival. I deal +2 with damage with range.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's throwing the grenade counts with Deadeye. So yeah, you do +2 damage. So that's gonna do 8 damage to it. Let's check its stats.
Picture perfect throw.
Yeah, that was a great throw.
Like right in the strike zone. I say as if baseball were still being played.
What?
25th century or whatever.
I turn, I'm like, strike zone. What's that? And then I get hit with the meat.
Yeah.
Okay. So boom. I'm going to say that its like left arm gets blown off in the explosion, and it it flies through the air, and you were not expecting this, and it hits you pretty it hits you pretty solidly, and its blood is acidic, and it burns. Why don't you go ahead and roll a d6 +1 damage against yourself? Armor applies.
Roll a 2. My armor's a 1.
Okay.
It's 2. It's 1d6 +1, right?
Yep. So take 2 points of damage.
All right.
I am also going to say that one of the Space Marines that was standing next to it, that was also working on this, like being controlled like a puppet. I'm going to say one of the Space Marines is just like obliterated. The other one, the other Space Marine was farther away and is mostly out of the blast radius. The alien is blasted off its, other than its arm that goes flying, it is blasted off its feet, but it starts to pick itself up again. Thorn, what do you do?
I'm going to try to hurt it.
Going to try to psychic blast it?
Actually, You know, I have science, and I haven't used science in a while. They're doing operations, right?
Yeah.
So there has to be a tank of some weird gas in the operating theater, right? Maybe there
Sure.
isn't.
Again,
Okay.
again, this is all like weird alien technology, so it's kind of hard to see. But there's something that looks like it could be a container of. It's like spherical.
Right, but I'm just saying there's some you know there's some unstable looking piece of equipment back there.
Yeah,
And
yeah. There's
yes, I'm not going to attack the alien directly, because his psychic powers are probably stronger than mine. So I'm going to smash that.
okay. You're going to attack that. Cool. So what would success look like?
Success looks like this thing ruptures and turns out to have something that in large quantities is poisonous or caustic to the alien, you know, or simply the rupturing of the tank, you know, causes a concussion, you know, as if, you know, like a tank of you know, like an oxygen tank blowing up.
Got it.
Might in a regular operating theater.
Okay. And what are you afraid might happen if things go wrong?
Well, I miss, and then I get to find out what being on the receiving end of psychic powers is like.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to go for. Was that
yeah,
like
I mean, it's hard to get worse than that.
Yeah, so like whatever, like so I'm going to say a miss is it's going to be like sure you sure you rupture the container, but it doesn't actually do anything, and you've revealed yourself psychically to a psychically endowed creature, which then unleashes its will upon your mind.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you're definitely rolling plus will here. You can choose to burn a stress to roll with advantage.
Oh, I'm trying to use science.
Oh, you're using science. That's right.
So
that's right. So yes,
didn't need it. 13.
Didn't need it. Fantastic.
Whatever I had in mind, clearly.
Yeah, it totally works. So that's a 12 plus. You get to looks like your stress track is remarkably down to 0. So normally when you roll a 12 plus, you can choose to clear stress or take some kind of extra advantage. I am open to suggestions for extra advantages. It's totally going to work. You're going to have narrative control on what this looks like. I got one.
I have something, but it's something that I'd like to defer until the end of it, unless this doesn't take the thing out.
Okay, we can do that if you've got something in mind that you want to happen afterwards.
I have something in mind that I want to have happen afterwards, and what I'm going to say narratively is actually will be simpler than the tank of gas. Is that I yank loose basically an electrical conduit, and you know, and the alien getting up gets an unshielded power cable right in the.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I think that's going to do. Like D6 plus 1 damage.
Okay. I think every damage dice I rolled has been 1. So that would be 2 points.
That was a 12 plus. Go ahead and roll. Well, let's make that 2d6. So roll another die. Okay, yeah, that's better.
Oh boy.
Yeah. What? So yeah, it has blasted this alien. It doesn't look like it's quite dead, but it looks like it's not long to the earth if you keep hitting it. What does this look like?
So maybe it's all like kind of rigid and like getting electrocuted, and there's like electric sparks
Yeah.
coming off of it, and then sparks hits it and comes out of my hiding spot and nails it with my baton, tries to finish it off.
Go for it.
So I think if it goes well, then I'll bash its brain in, and hopefully it dies. But what's my question I have to answer? If it doesn't go well, what would happen?
Yeah, what are you afraid of might happen if it doesn't go so well?
Maybe I get caught in the electricity.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going. That's pretty much what I was going to say. You're gonna get a really nasty shock.
Yeah. So I'm using I have a move called cheap shot. If you attack an unaware or surprise enemy, you can roll the attack as though you were skilled. And if successful, you do maximum damage. No armor applies.
Fantastic. Yeah. So that means roll the damage.
So here we go. I'm at minus. When you do melee attacks, it's with strength, right?
Correct.
All right. So I'm at -1. So that's the downside of this. Oh no.
Ah.
All right. That's a 3.
Ooh.
Nothing I can do about it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's down for the count. You go right up in there to whack it good, and it's twitching. And just as you're about to make contact, it twitches in such a way that it knocks the electrical conduit such that it makes direct contact with your metal baton, and you get a nasty shock. Armor does not apply. Give yourself please roll a d6 plus 1 damage against yourself.
All right.
And this is going to bypass armor. So
3 damage. All right.
Logan, I guess it's back to you. This creature is still. Oh, and you know what? I think I'm going to say that since that was a 3, so you got that damage, and when it twitches, it knocks the cable away, so it's no longer getting the shock, and it's it is now scrambling to its feet. Logan, what are you doing?
Shooting it with my rifle.
Go for it.
What's
What are you
that?
afraid? What are you afraid might happen if this doesn't go so well?
Well, I'm going to ask Jason this.
Oh yeah, you hit me.
Well, no. I was going to say the alien gets up and takes it out on you. Not that I shoot you, but just that if I miss, the alien can get up and attack.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
We better get out of here before one of these guys kills Sparks.
Lots of sparks have been flown so far. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, and that'll be roll plus agility.
Sorry, +1.
Yep.
10.
Perfect. You nailed him. Why don't you go ahead and roll damage?
1d6 +1.
Yeah, d6 plus. You've got Deadeye, so it's going to be d6 plus 3.
Okay. So I got 5 plus 2 damage, so 7.
Well, it's 5. He included your Deadeye.
Yeah, I put in my damage. What's it called? Deadeye, and then it's a d6 plus 1 weapon.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough to finish. That's enough to finish it off. You have you've shot this thing and it does not seem to be moving. What? Like, go ahead and tell us what that looks like.
Well, as it's getting up, it kind of, just as it's getting up, and just as it raises its head over like this computer bank, I take the shot and it drills right between, like, it goes straight through his head, and he collapses on the ground. And then I walk over to check on Sparks and I kick it in the head.
They say, watch out, there's one more Marine.
Oh yeah,
I kind of point over your shoulder, and maybe it's looming.
Here's why it hasn't been. So yeah, there is one more Marine in the other side of the room that had not been engaged in the fight so far, and that's because it had gone over to this like weird like cabinet or locker or something like that it had opened up, and it just and the Marine, she's pulled out the same kind of plasma rifle and is now turning to start shooting you. Sparks, I think you're.
It is possible for me to do like one of those like monologues. It's me, Logan, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to try to break her out of the mental control by talking to her. Awesome.
Yeah, just like coming, like
What's her name?
What's that?
You've worked with her. What's her name?
Yeah, she's in my whatever platoon or whatever it is. Sykes. I mean, I don't know what's below us. I don't know what's below a sergeant, but
there'd be private or corporal.
All right, Corporal Sykes. All right, so I say, she picks up her gun. I got my gun poised at her, and I'm like, Sykes, it's me, Logan. I'm your sergeant. Don't you remember? You report directly to me. I'm telling you now. Put the gun down. For the love of, I don't know, whatever. Love of Cthulhu. Put the gun down. And that's a direct order. Do you understand? A direct order.
Okay. Yeah, this could work. So this is you're trying to persuade her, so this is going to be a will roll. I'm not going to give you advantage because at this point the mental control is pretty strong, but I'm curious to see how this is going to go.
All right. So I don't have any bonuses on will, so here we go. Wish me luck.
Okay.
8.
Okay. So I'm going to say she hasn't broken fruit. She points the gun at you, and she's clearly wavering. She's like shaking, like she's trying to resist. What this thing on her head is trying to make her do, and you can see this thing on your head. It's like the centerpiece, like its thorax is throbbing, and it's wrapping its tentacles around her head even tighter. Sparks, what do you do?
Can I try to pull it off her head since she's wavering?
Yeah, you can run over there and try to pull it off her head.
You're going to tell me it's a strength roll, isn't it?
I'm absolutely going to tell you it's a strength roll.
Yeah. All right. This is at -1. I don't think I have any way. If Thorn and I work together to pull it off, can we roll with advantage? Is that how that works?
Well, you can burn a stress to roll with advantage.
That's true. Yeah, we might as well. We're getting late in the day. I'll go ahead and burn a stress, and I'll roll with advantage.
Find a crowbar.
Yeah. So I got 3 dice, but I'm -1. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to do the whole like what
Oh
happens?
yeah,
if
that's
you
right.
fail?
That's right. Sorry, forgot about that. Yeah.
So I think if
success
I
is-
fail, she'll probably turn and bash me, pistol whip me with that gun.
okay.
And yeah.
How it's worse than that is she's not going to pistol whip you. She's just going to flat out shoot you.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, and like I said, it's a 7.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a yeah. That's yeah. Yeah, you grab that thing and you pull it off her. The complication is, yeah, you like grab that spider thing and you pull it off her. But the complication is, there's that tentacle that was there's like one tentacle that was like kind of like burrowed into the back of her skull. And when you pull it out of that, she just makes this like dull like moan of pain, and like blood just starts gushing out of that hole.
Oh shit.
Um,
Anybody got some bandages?
Yeah, I do.
Let her go. She doesn't deserve to live like this. I mean, she's not going to get out of here alive. I think that she would want to go this way.
She might have a chance to protect your ass. I say, trying to bandage her up.
What if she switches back?
What the hell do I do with this thing?
oh yeah, that's true. You
Throw
are
it.
now, yes, you are now holding a hostile creature. What do you do?
Wrestling with a yes,
Wrestling with
a
a
tentacle
wrestling
thing
with a
that's trying to
hostile-
bite your head.
with a hostile like octo spider leech.
I think it's going to be like in Aliens, when they have a face hugger, and I'll be like, I'm going to throw it in that corner, Sarge, shoot it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
I'll shoot it if I can.
Yeah, but yeah, Sparks, I don't think you need to make a roll here, but yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Sarge. Okay, that's a hit.
Yep.
Oh, I have a +1, so it's 8.
Okay, awesome. That's a hit. You hit it. You definitely hit it with plasma rifle fire. Go ahead and roll damage.
3, 5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It kind of explodes in a mist of green goo. The complication here is that there was one more that we established that was like running around the floor, and I think the complication is we've lost track of it.
Ruh-roh.
There was one more little one around here somewhere. Be careful, everybody. I'll have
So-
like my baton out and like looking around.
So someone is treating Sergeant Sykes or Corporal Sykes.
Me.
Okay. I don't think we need to roll here. I'm just gonna. You've got science. I'm going to say that that she's down. She's out. She's alive. You're really going to need to get her to a med bay pretty soon. There's weird alien medical supplies here, but you don't know what they are or what they'll do.
No, I mean, Brendan, no, I have just an emergency med pack.
That's true. You have an emergency.
I'm-
That's true. You can have an emergency med pack. You can.
And I'm going to take out a stim. One of those on your feet soldier kind of things.
Walk it
Okay.
off.
No, it's just we're gonna need every pair of eyes and hands we have.
Fair enough, Born.
And
Okay, fair enough.
Prove it to be a
So
great new-
scratch off one supply for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got a med pack, but she needed a double dose of stim to wake up, and she's up. She's on her feet, but she's woozy.
They give her a military pep talk. Yeah, no, like bonuses or anything like that. Just like you're a tough soldier. We're proud to have you back.
Oh, she's
You're a
clutching her
credit
head.
to the Space Marines.
What did that thing do to me? She looks at you and says, "Sarge, oh God, thank God you're here."
We're the sole survivors.
No, yeah, we aren't. Okay, now I'm going to say what I'd like my 12 plus to be.
Oh yes.
As the alien was dying, he involuntarily told me something.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I got a psychic.
I got a psychic
flash from him. Of that warns that will warn us of some danger, or they mustn't, or tell us something that they were afraid that we might try to do or something.
Okay, here's so you got a flash. You got another flash of this engine room that you're going to be going into, and you got an image, and that is there are 17 ship's jump drives that are arranged in a specific pattern around a piece of alien technology. And so it's a combination and the alien technology has is connected to a deep well that's been bored deep into the surface of this planet. That's apparently drawing some kind of it's drawing power from the planet, geothermal.
Right.
Who knows?
Makes perfect sense.
But it's these like human ship warp drive or jump drives that are it's the combination. It's the hyperspace folding energy from these 17 jump drives fed into this alien artifact that's also being powered by like planetary power. That's what's feeding the gate.
Right.
So if you can take out a few of the engines, so if you can destroy a few of the engines, that's going to depower the gate. You also know that this facility you're in is minimally staffed. Most of the aliens had gone to the crashed marine ship and were basically fighting the Marines.
Okay, so yeah, you see me with the dying alien, staring into its eyes, trying not to get any of that caustic blood on me. And it's like, I think I know what they're doing. You remember the hint, the idea that this had something to do with what they were actually bringing ships here because they needed the jump drives.
Shit.
Yeah, that's what they're using. That's what they're using to power up the gate.
Well, we gotta take it out, I suppose.
Yeah. The trick is surviving the experience, but one thing at a time, right? Let's go. I know where it is. Let's go. He was hurting badly enough that he let me have a flash of it.
Thanks, creepy creature.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, if things
so-
had been flipped around, I would have been the one having my brain reamed out, not him.
So we've basically got one more kind of big climactic scene of the game. It is I'd like to call a short break. Let's reconvene at quarter after, and then we'll bring this adventure to hopefully we'll bring this adventure to a close.
Okay.
See you in 5. And we're back. So you step into this like cavernous room. It's dimly lit by that like weird green light that's coming from these LEDs, these like green LEDs maybe that seem to be haphazardly dot the that like organometallic patina that's covering everything. And it's pretty much it's pretty much the image that the alien gave Thorn. There are like arranged radially outward. Oh, and for one thing, it's very, very warm in this room, and one thing that you noticed as you approached this room is the noise. There's a very loud, deep thrum from 17 ship jump drives running apparently at full power. And these are just like just the bare jump drive engines that are like mounted on almost like plinths of this like organometallic material. There's like cables there's like the alien cables that are like plugging into this. And there's 17 that are arranged radially outward from there's like a pipe or there's like a shaft or a pipe that's coming up out of this large bore this large hole that bores straight down into the bedrock.
Good Lord.
And this
You
room
realize
is
what the-
big. This is like bigger than an aircraft. I mean, this is like it's hundreds of feet across. The ceiling is at least 100 feet tall.
Good Lord. Do you realize that what they've done here? They've these are working jump drives. They've somehow channeled the hyperspace folding, the field that the jump drive emanates into these pipes.
Well, no matter what they did, we're still going to blow it up. So let's get to
Yeah, but that's, I mean,
And
so,
some of
well,
these,
to say that I wouldn't, that seems impossible is kind of understating it.
and the other thing is that some of these jump drives seem pretty recent. Like there's one that's actually the same model that you have on the Stingray, and there's another one that's much bigger, much. It's like 4 generations old. It's like the second generation jump drive that was state of the art maybe 125 years ago.
Right.
Which matches the fact that there are a lot of that there were derelict ships of that age in orbit around this planet.
Right.
So I think Sparks is already kind of like, moving along in the dark along the corners to try to like find, the key place to plant this bomb to do as much damage as possible.
Sparks. I need your brain on this one. Not your first impulse. I mean, this looks like it's a kind of a thing that's in balance. And I mean, blowing up, one or two of these things might do nothing.
I have a grenade.
Yeah, a grenade. These are jump drives. these are, unless it's a ship-sized grenade, I'm not sure how much damage it's going to do.
Well, like you said, they are jump drives. They're like very high. They're like highly sophisticated.
Yeah.
Fine-tuned pieces of technology that are normally
right.
deep in the ship and heavily shielded to protect them from damage.
Absolutely. The grenade might work, and if it does work, it will incinerate us. So the question is,
we have that big ordnance that I broke out.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. You have
And
that shape charge,
and it's got a radio control on it. We plant it. We skedaddle to the surface, jump on the ship, and yippee-ki-yay into the horizon. You know what I'm saying?
I will say one thing that strikes you odd is, yeah, this room is really big, and it easily fits these like large jump drives. I mean, these are massive pieces of equipment. They're usually, some of them are they're like 30 feet long. The smaller ones are like 25, 30 feet long, and maybe 8 feet tall. Probably weigh about 3 tons. There was no way you were going to get one of these down the corridors that you came through.
Aren't we just trying to blow them up? We're not trying to steal any, are we?
Well, no. The point is that there's another way out.
Oh.
And I
I
wouldn't bet on the way that we got in being a way out for us anymore.
Is there some sort of lift or something? Does this like chamber go up, like way up high?
It goes up about 100 feet.
Okay.
Sparks, yeah.
I have one supply left. Can I use that to I don't know.
I was going to say, you don't even. I mean, if you want to scan the room, I mean, the jump drives are giving an awful lot of interference, but you're able to tell that way over on the other side, opposite that you came in, your scanner does detect that there is like a tunnel, and there's a vehicle parked at the front of the tunnel.
All right, now we're talking.
I have one supply left. Can I use it to pull something magical out of my hat?
What do you want to pull out of your hat? Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
The trick never works.
Maybe some sort of like force field kind of thing, like that we can like
a small scale force, a technological version of Thorn's psychic wall. It's a force wall projector.
Maybe, I don't know what that is, but
What's your idea?
I mean, something that could project like a 10-foot by 10-foot force wall that you could.
Yeah, so we could all fit it, and then just in case.
Well, here's the question. It won't do us. It's not going to do us any good to blow up one or two of these things. We need to get this whole setup to go bang ideally blowing up this geothermal tap. If the geothermal tap goes up, this whole complex will melt down because it'll be full of magma.
So I
but that thing's
failed
designed.
ethics, but can we like overload it and maybe like, I don't know,
Yeah.
pull this whole planet into the other?
We- I don't know. I have no idea, but I'd settle for overloading this room,
Yeah, simple
And-
better.
and that's either. Yeah, because even overloading one of these jump drives isn't going to blow this whole thing up. It's just
Seems like we could set up a chain reaction. I mean, these
where
are
are the controls?
There is yeah, so there is another control panel similar to the one that you saw in the cylinder room, which is, you know, like closer to it's kind of like, yeah, there is a control panel that's like nearer some of the jump drives that are mounted on these plinths. It seems a bit. This control panel seems quite a bit more complex than the one that you used earlier.
Right. Sparks, you were the sergeant. Want to see if you can get that truck or whatever. I'm I can figure this thing out. Sorry. Something's going to be coming after us, but they may only come after us in ones and twos at start. Can you discourage them as much as possible?
Sykes and I'll take care of it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Mike says on the chat that we're breaking up. His internet might be crashing.
Oh no.
Nope.
No, this is the last episode.
Ollie, interrupt us.
Oh, we don't need the GM. We can just follow. We can just go from here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you all hear me?
Oh,
You're
sorry.
pretty good. A little bit of breakup.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to
Okay.
make
Yeah,
this
because
public.
I'm getting that Zoom warning that your internet bandwidth is low. Anyway, so
Hang on, I have to make my comment. Okay.
yeah, hopefully, things seem to be getting a
Okay.
little better. I was having a hard time hearing what Brandon was saying because you were getting really choppy there for a bit. But it sounds like you wanted to
So it
send,
sounds like Spark.
it sounds like
Yeah,
you wanted
go
to
ahead.
send like Sparks and Sykes out to try to find that vehicle.
Sparks is going to try to find the vehicle.
Yeah.
Logan said that he and Sykes were going to set up a little ambush for anything that tries to come down and interfere with us while we're figuring out what to do. And I'm going to stick my hands into this machine
Okay.
and try to figure it out.
Okay. Cool.
I think despite what Thorne suggested, I'm actually, once I'm out of view, I'm going to find a good spot to plant this bomb. Maybe it'll just be our backup, but I think Sparks really feels that we got to get this bomb planted somewhere. It's going to make a big boom. So I
Got
think
it.
I'm going to do that on my way to the truck.
Okay. So you're just planting the bomb. Are you going to try to like set up some kind of like feedback chain reaction? Like if you blow one up, it's going to send a surge to another one and then another one and another one, or no?
Yeah, I mean that's the plan. I don't know how
That's the
good
plan?
Sparks is at setting it up, but he'll give it a shot.
I was going to say you've you've done enough shady stuff in space that you know pretty much how to do that sort of thing. So you're not particularly skilled, but I was going to say you know your way around an engine enough that you could probably set that sort of thing up. It's going to take you a
Sure.
little bit, but it's going to take you a little bit, and you are working with really dangerous stuff here. So I don't think you're working from a position of safety. So definitely going to say it's basically going to be like an engineering check. You're not skilled in engineering, so you can't take advantage on that. But I don't think you're at disadvantage.
Okay.
It's
I
going to
think
take
I'm gonna.
it's going to take you a little bit of time to wire that up.
Okay. You want me to roll now, or do you want to wait on it then?
Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and roll that now?
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take a stress 2 to roll with advantage.
Okay.
And
this is clearly intelligence.
Okay. So 3d6. So if it goes bad, I think maybe my explosion isn't enough to destroy the base or destroy, whatever we need to do, to close down the portal.
Got it. Here's how it's and here's how it's worse than that. It's going to cause it's not going to cause the portal to collapse. It is, however, going to cause it to become unstable.
Okay.
And that's going to have all kinds of weird ripple effects.
All right. Let's see what we get. Oh boy. Well, that is a 7. I got +2 intelligence.
Okay.
Just barely.
Okay, that does it.
What's the downside?
Let me just look at the move one more time. Okay. Make it safe for me to turn video back on. I'm going to say that so one cost is you're going to need to cannibalize a couple of pieces of your other electronics. So you're going to need to cannibalize your scanner, and you're also going to need to blow all the supplies that you've got. Not that that's a big deal because we're getting pretty close to the end of the adventure here. But you're gonna basically drop your supplies to 0, and you no longer have access to your scanner.
Okay.
I think it's going to take a bit. I think it's also going to take a bit of time.
All right.
This is going to take like a good 15-20 minutes to rig this up. Meanwhile, so Sarge and Corporal Sykes. I don't want to have another combat scene. I think we've had enough combat scenes in this game thus far. But actually, well, before we get to that, let's go to so the two of you. Yeah. Okay, so the two Space Marines have taken point and are guarding the entrance. Nothing seems to be coming down yet. I am just going to say, for the sake of argument, that if, for example, alarms are raised and aliens start coming through here, I'm probably not going to run a combat scene, especially since it would be a whole lot of bad guys against against 4 of you. So it would probably be more of a, we need to fight to flee rather than fight to take them all out. But yeah, so the 2 of you have taken up a good defensive position. Thorn, you are interfacing with the alien computer system again. What are you hoping to accomplish?
hoping to get to the controls of the geothermal tap.
Controls to the geothermal. Okay. And what are you hoping to do with it?
Figure out how to bypass its safety protocols.
You're breaking up on my end a little bit. I'm not sure if it's on my end or yours. You're going to try to bypass the safety protocols to sort of like make it go overload or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
What are you afraid of might happen if it doesn't go so well?
It might go up right now.
Ooh, that was going to be.
Or is that the worst one?
I was going to say that's actually what I was going to. That was what I was going to pose was even worse. Was that?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I guess I went right to the even worse.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Well.
So you're able to use your psychic ability to gain advantage on this roll. It's definitely going to be a roll plus. I think it's going to be a roll plus intelligence because you're trying to get information out of this.
Yep.
But you have advantage because you're a psychic.
Ready?
Let's go.
11.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you know how to. You can. Yes, you can. You can invert the like. Let me roll on my technobabble table here. Yes, you can. You can invert the field flux, causing the alien energy inverter to like overcharge and create an internal feedback loop. That's going to cause a very big explosion for the geothermal inverter. That coupled with the charges that Sparks has been doing, will that will definitely destroy this power center.
Right. So I'm having discovered that I'm starting to cut out the safeties.
Okay.
I'm not pressing the button to turn the power tap up to maximum yet.
Got it.
But I'm getting it so that
I will say even with that awesome roll, and that was just even with the awesome roll, I am going to say that once you start disengaging the safety protocols, warning bells start to go off.
Of course they do.
And I'm going to say I'm going to say that doing this, it's going to take a little time. It's going to take a couple of minutes.
Yes, that's why that's why we have a rear guard holding the stairs. Okay, Sarge, I'm going to start taking the safeties off now. Expect company soon.
All right, ready to go.
Got it.
Sparks, you got it? Here goes nothing.
So Thorn makes some adjustments to the alien control systems, and those green lights that were going everywhere, they turn to blue, and they start flashing, and you hear this in addition to just the din of all of these engines that are still running, you now hear a kind of a low rumble that's underneath it all. It's like a rhythmic. it's an irregular, like rhythmic, like rumble pattern. It almost sounds like it's infrasound. You're guessing that's the alien equivalent to a klaxon. It's really disturbing. I'd probably make everyone mark stress, but we're pretty much down to the end. So, and at that point, a bunch of aliens start coming down. A whole lot of aliens start coming down the corridor. In general terms, Sarge, what's your plan to prevent the aliens from swarming you?
Do I still have that do I still have that weapon that we put up in the camp?
Oh
You know-
yeah. Oh yeah, you've got. Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about
You
that.
got
You've
the breaching charge.
No,
no,
the,
I
think that's-
sen-
whatever.
sentry gun.
Yeah,
Oh, the
you
sentry
got
gun, yeah.
gun. Yeah. You
Hey,
set up
sentry
the
gun.
sentry gun. I forgot about that. Absolutely. That's perfect.
and then Specs and I stand behind it to do cleanup.
Yeah.
There are a lot of them. There are like
Me
Just-
too.
there are dozens. I think we're gonna looking at the time. I think we're gonna get to the. I think we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do montage. I think we're gonna do the montage getaway and do one final roll just to see how just to see how it happens. Just to see how it all pulls off. So we'll start with Sarge. So you've got the. So you said you've got the sentry gun. You got the sentry gun, and you're basically doing a fighting withdrawal. I'm just going to say, for the sake of argument, that you did find the that while you were setting all this stuff up, you did find that yes, there is a tunnel that seems to go to the surface, and there is like a 40-year-old. It's like a vintage 40-year-old heavy ground transport that's parked just inside of this tunnel. It's like the kind that you know, 2 generations ago colony ship would have.
No problem. This is the kind of thing I drove back on the farm. Let's go.
So Thorn, how are you? So what's the plan with the geothermal inverter?
It all depends on how the timing works out. So the plan is one of two things. If there's time, and then I'm going to, you know, at the last moment, I'm basically going to turn the power up to where I think it's going to overload shortly, and then get out of there. If there isn't time, then I'm going to do something different. So this is.
I'm going to say there's probably time for that.
It's I don't mind a different narrative choice.
I'm going to say there's probably time. There's probably time for that. Sarge. So what's the plan? How are you all getting out of there as the aliens overrun your sentry gun?
Well, Sparks and Thorn go ahead.
No can do, Sarge. You'll be overwhelmed.
Okay. Well, it's been an honor to serve.
No, the big truck like rams over some of these aliens and you know, skids to a stop right in front of Thorn. I think that's what happens. We're gonna save his ass or their ass.
I like it. I like it. A big old fashioned like electric powered truck suddenly like runs runs in, runs over several of the aliens, and the four of you. I like the scene of like the four of you like jump onto the back of the truck. Sparks like spins it around and starts and just guns it for the tunnel. And just as you get through the tunnel, that's when you hit the button on the detonator. So,
let's get up and out before this thing turns into a river of magma.
Yeah. So let's
hold your butt.
Let's go ahead and do one final roll just to see how well this goes. Go ahead and let's go ahead and roll with. So who wants to do the honor? I think this is going to be a. I think this is planning more than anything else.
How about if we each roll a d6 and roll with advantage and take the best two? How's that work?
Sure. I was just going to say. I was just going to suggest like let's let someone roll with advantage and advantage plus intelligence, and let's see where the dice fall.
I think Sparks, you're the one who's got the biggest bonus, so go for it.
All right, here we go.
If you're driving the truck.
Sparks the man with a plan. Here we go. Do you want to do like what happens if we fail and all that kind of stuff, or do you want to just roll it?
I was going to say, I think if what happens, I think an absolute failure is. I think an absolute failure is you get caught in the explosion.
Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go.
So let's.
You can do it. Yes.
All right, it's a 12.
Perfect. It's a 12. Nice. So let's do it this way.
Is there a Dukes of Hazzard Creek we can jump?
Yeah, Magma
I was going to
Creek.
say, so Sparks, why don't you tell us how you get out of there?
Right.
Thorn, why don't you tell us like what happens when this engine room just explodes and like what the effect is? And Sarge, why don't you tell us of how the four of you why don't you tell us how the four of you rendezvous with the Stingray and get the hell out of there?
Okay.
So I think we're tearing down this tunnel in this truck, and aliens drop out of side tunnels, and they're firing at them, and maybe Thorn's using his psychic powers to like shield us as much as possible, and there's just this massive explosion, of course, behind us that's building and pursuing us down this tunnel, and we go shooting up onto the surface, and we kind of do a little bit of a hop, and we kind of like slide to a stop, and I think that's how we get to the surface.
Awesome. Thorn, why don't you tell us of what the effects were, what the effects of this explosion were on the facility and on the gate?
So the cameras inside the reactor room, as the aliens are, there's an alien gone to the controls there, and then the alien turns and looks at the other aliens as the geothermal, the field surrounding the geothermal tap develops a flaw, and a spurt of magma squirts out of it like a pipe that's been holed, and then there is a frozen moment, and then the entire thing goes up as the suppressed power of what's essentially a capped volcano cuts loose. The magma spills over the centers and melts. And the hyperspace engines that are running full tilt, elements from them start to melt and to sag. And the vibrations, they start to vibrate, and the noise starts to whip up to a crazy thing, and then one of them goes up with a bang, and another, and as they do, these ripples of blue-white force go running up the cables, as one after another of these engines goes, and the suppressed energy of their space warping fields is unleashed like a giant electrical overload up the cables, and snaking faster and faster, rippling up the entire thing through the corridors, through the doors in which we came, up and out to the top of the mesa where the entire thing goes. And it's so powerful that it melts the metallic circumference of the gate. And for the moment, the gate holds its shape as a molten plasma arc of metal, and then it comes apart, and space goes crazy in the vicinity of it, and tears the entire top of the mesa off, flying in all directions, as if a thermonuclear weapon had hit it, and ripples that go out and shake some of the very ships that are in orbit, and around the very planet.
That's super dramatic and really awesome. Thank you.
We had a lot of special effects budget left over.
Abe, why don't you bring it home? Sarge, tell us how the Stingray manages to avoid this, even though it was in the vicinity, manages to avoid this blast, and gathers you up, and you make your getaway.
All right. So after we escape, we get out of the the tunnel. It's like the camera cuts into the inside of the truck, and Sparks and Sarge and Sykes are all like, woo, high-fiving and celebrating. Thorn is just standing there, like, circumspect. And then I think Sykes is like, she's like, she's all hyped up, and then she turns around and looks, and her eyes get real big, and the explosion happens, right? Sparks, curses, "Oh shit," and he slams on the gas. Logan flies backwards, lands on his ass, as we tear across the surface of the planet. We are, we're like, feet away from this blast, and somehow we're staying ahead of it. So we start heading towards the ship, and all of the magma and the explosions start catching up to us. And then you know, we can see the ship in the distance, and then the magma starts getting under the back wheels of the truck, you know, and starts, you know, incinerating the tires, and we're riding on rims on the back, and it continues, you know, we're you know, in striking distance of the ship, and then the magma overtakes the front wheels and the back of the truck, and then you know, as we are continuing forward, the magma finally overtakes the front wheels, and they're incinerated. And you know, it's a heavily armed truck, you know, so we're sort of riding on the crest of the magma, or like the very front of the wave of magma, and there's a lot of sparks. You know, we're hitting the ground, like bits and pieces are hitting the ground on the truck, and they're throwing sparks all over the place. You know, you cut into the side of the truck, Sparks is like, you know, close up on the eyes, sweat running down his face. You know, Sarge is like just cussing. Sykes is pretty much doing the same. And there's like a ravine or something, we'll say. And then as we go over it, the magma carries us over it, and we're like, you know, right there at the truck, and we skid. You know, again, sparks flying. The magma's gone into like this ravine, and we skid. You know, the bottom of the truck is charred, and it just comes to a stop, like, I don't know, maybe 10 feet away from the ship. And it's smoke. The truck is smoking, and the truck is smoking, and we make it, you know, within you know, the skin of our teeth.
Got it. You clamber aboard the Stingray 12. You light your sublight engines, and you make it out of and in minutes you're out of the atmosphere. You're back in space. Your jump drive is online, and you know, I just see, you know, I'm just kind of imagining that all of you are like, you know, like sitting in the like all of you are sitting on the bridge, and you all make eye contact, and Thorn says, "Hit it," and you jump into hyperspace.
Wait, before we do that, we crack over the interspace radio, and it's the two guys that were on the planet, the guys who bailed on the game, and they're like, you know, we're off the planet. We'll see you at the base, or something like that, you know. So, you know, they just don't, you know, they're not just dead.
Oh, well, I was going to say they were on the ship. So.
Oh, they're on the ship with us. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. They're on the ship.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And we sent a signal to those fuckers on the moon. We're leaving now.
Yeah,
Fuck
I'm
you.
not. Later. All right, guys. To quote somebody else, let's fuck off.
Thanks. This was a lot of fun.
So this was fun.
Yeah.
That was Dead Planet. I thought this was a blast. I had a fun time with this.
Yeah,
Thank you for
same.
running it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Yeah, thanks, folks. Normally I do a Stars and Wishes, but this is the last session, so I'm just going to say I really enjoyed playing with all of you. I think the characters are fun. I think we fell into a pretty good groove in this session, and yeah, this is fun. I really enjoyed this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
this session was really good. I think the other sessions were good too, but I think the pacing and the characterizations and stuff, and I think it's also important to, like, the number of dice rolls was just right. You know, like some sessions you don't roll enough, and some sessions you roll too much, but I think it was just enough. Like the randomness of the dice, you know, really enhanced what we were doing today.
Cool. Thank you. All right. So one final question is it okay if this was recording? Is it okay if I post this?
Found me.
Good.
Awesome. Thank you, folks. Well, I guess that's a wrap. I really enjoyed this. I hope I get to play with you guys again in the future, in future games. I've got a couple more games that are on the calendar. So hopefully I will see you around. Take care,
Sure
folks.
thing.
Have a good night.
Uh,
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Night,
Good night.
everybody.